And so let's go ahead and look at working with structs and arrays. So with arrays and structs, it is almost pretty much the exact same as when you're working with a primitive or simple um, non-complex type, such as an integer, a double, a char, etc. Except the exception is that you need to remember use that member access operator to specify where you're getting the value from. So we use the same kind of indexing where 0 is the first index, and so on. So we specify what index we're using, and just that member access operator along with which one we are doing. So let's go ahead and look at an example. So let's go ahead and create my struct and then my array, and then give this a value 3 and 0 initialize these. And then let's go ahead and do my array. Let's go ahead and do the first index dot ma or underscore a equals 1, and then do the same thing for the other member or the other array indexes. And then we can go ahead and print them out. Go ahead and run this and look at our results. So here you can see 1, 2, and 3. And the structure here is, again, we're just specifying the index in the array where we're getting it from. And with the member access operator, we are just specifying what member we're accessing. In this case, it's m underscore a. And so a bit more complex example that we can do here is by creating a factory function and putting this array in a loop to initialize these values for us. So let's go ahead and look at that, an example of how to do that. So go ahead and delete those, and I'll create my function, my struct factory. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in a value, a number in here, just to sort of act as what we're going to be assigning to m underscore a. And so we can say my struct, we can create a new variable, temp var, and then temp var dot m underscore a is equal to n, and then we will return that. So we do return and then temp var. So in main, we create my struct array. I can just type, and then give this a size again of 3. Actually, we can just do 5, just in case. So an array of 5, and then for int I equals 0, we're going to go through all these array elements, I under 5, and then increment I. And then here we are going to call our factory function. So we can say my array I, and then we can set these equal to factory, we call that, and then put an I, which will give our members the value of whatever ma is, which will be dictated by the argument n, which is going to be passed in through our for loop. And so then afterwards, we can go ahead and print these. So for int I equals 0 to start at the first index, I under 5, so that we don't go 1 over where our index or where our array ends. Increase I. And then cout, and then we can do my array I dot ma, and then print a new line after we print each one, and then write that. And then if I have made no errors, then we can see here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, because again we start at 0 here. So we're going to start at the first index. The first index object of my array is going to be assigned whatever the object that is returned by our factory. Our factory is going to be creating or initializing each of our objects inside of this array. It's going to be equal to that, and then afterwards we print it out here in our for loop, and our second for loop. So I hope this was a bit of a good example, or an understandable example on working with arrays and struct types.